You look at your beloved 4-year-old boy, his eyes clenched tight, shutting the world out, himself in. He's writhing on the kitchen floor, kicking his feet, baring his teeth, howling, arching his back, spitting. He has to be contained. You can't let your son hurt himself, or you for that matter. Oh, he is way too thin, your boy. And he is stiff with rage over banana custard. You'd wanted him to eat something. It seemed like comfort. You kneel beside him, dodging his thrusting arms, not a stranger to these tirades, and then swiftly, expertly, you lunge forward and sweep him up into your arms backwards so that you clasp him from behind, keeping his head low, just above your solar plexus. So when he flings his head backwards, he'll hit you just above your breast and not in your face this time. He's enormously strong for one so small, and you lace your legs around his like a giant ribbon, both to comfort him and to reduce his range of motion. And for a breath of a moment, he calms, or at least pauses, and you whisper close to his ear, "It's all right, Christopher. I won't let you hurt yourself, and you don't have to eat, okay?" But he begins panting. And he turns into a seething mess in your arms, snot hanging from his chin, plopping on your crisscrossed legs. He takes his hands, free only from the elbows down, and scratches your legs. Your despair multiplies. Peaceful hours stripped away in an instant. Over custard. Sometimes it's because you touched his toothbrush, or there are one too many people in a room. Broccoli on the same plate as his potato. Shh. You croon to both of you and you begin to rock. You gotta keep him quiet before Ed comes home, or the neighbors misunderstand and come rushing in, before anyone realizes what an utter failure you are as a mother. Because Christopher's incident is yours too. It's your heartbreaking, your terror of going mad. If you let him go now and he flies across the kitchen, he could smash his head into the wall. What then? He bellows. You pull him closer. You kiss his sweaty hair, search for a way to soothe him, but this seems to intensify his rage. He cringes, repels from your touch. Always did. Even as a newborn, he was inconsolable. So many times the two of you cried together throughout an entire night. Swaddling calmed him sometimes, but not you. You yearn to touch and show your love that way, but your need to cuddle only hurts him. You wish that you could just go back to the beginning, stop this before it started, remove the custard the moment he tensed up, resist the urge to coax him because coaxing never works. Silly games only agitate. Everything you knew about mothering falls flat. Exhausted from maintaining, adjusting to his needs, having done everything to keep him comfortable. You ache to understand why he pulls away and pulls away again. Out of weakness, you exert your strength and you give in to your need and desire to love. And so here you are, t-shirt soaked through, your sweat commingling with his. You are bound together, but not as a mother and son, but as warriors. You are losing this war. And then when he twists in your arms and he makes this little small move, you draw a breath because what? Is he turning towards you? No, no, it's just a twitch. It's a quivering. It's a quivering that is turning into a trembling, that's becoming a tremor that is radiating from his core, and it is much more dangerous than the thrashing is. It becomes painfully clear that although he may be safer in your arms, if he doesn't feel safe, he isn't safe at all. Your loving arms have become more dangerous than if you let him go, and he did fly across the room and split his head open. So you will yourself to relax your grip because his well-being depends on you letting go. You unwrap yourself from around him, accepting that you must choose to be physically distant from this boy you love so deeply, the child to whom you gave birth. When you let him loose, Thankfully, he doesn't fly across the room and smash his head into the wall. Nor does he lie calmly in your lap, however. Instead, he slowly rolls away into a fetal position to lie for 3 hours humming. And you sit sobbing, tearless tears. You expected to be a great mother, the heroine of your son's life story, or the very least, not the bad person. Later, sitting at the kitchen table on which in a few years he will spread the entire contents of a peanut butter jar, he watches you like a hawk as you prepare a pink, this is a color that he can tolerate, milkshake, exactly the way he likes it, and he drinks it, he seems content. It is a moment of grace. It's another 5 years before you discover a soothing touch. It's at the beach and you're both knee deep in water. He's shaky with fear, screaming, unapproachable. And again, you hold back and you look, you search so hard for a way in, and then out of inspiration, is it desperation? You lift your hand and you spread your fingers out in a fan in front of him and you say, Christopher, touch my hand. Stop screaming. Touch my hand. Listen to me, Christopher. You can do it. And he does. He stops screaming. He holds up his hand, spreads his fingers out in a fan, and carefully you touch your fingers to his and say, it's okay, Christopher. It's okay. But this doesn't stop your tumbling, fumbling brain. A constant adjustment to his needs, the enormous responsibility, the relentless drip, drip, drip of repetition entwined with unpredictability wears on you. Every morning, you put on your can-do mask for him and your husband, and you do your best to disguise your anguish, and you stay focused on what's good. The drain set, his math genius, the amazing way he thinks in pictures, his uncompromising set of ethics, his extraordinary vocabulary and ability to remember facts. You tell him one time and he remembers. He has these dark, fathomless eyes and elegant hands, and he wants to be an astronaut someday. And you truly, truly believe that he could be. You set up routines. You keep the lights low, the sound down, you keep him out of spaces that are too small, you give him interesting puzzles to solve and books to read. You try to teach him what a joke is, even though you know that he can't tell the difference between a smile and a frown. And you never, ever serve him banana custard because it's yellow, you see, and he can't be around anything yellow or brown. And above all, you avoid crowded stores and stopping to talk to friends so that he won't find it necessary to fling bowls off of shelves and lie down and bang his hands and feet on the floor and wet himself ever again. Now, he's 13. And he hasn't eaten or spoken for days, and God forgive you. When he starts screaming this time, it just crawls inside you, it consumes you, and his anger becomes your anger, and it's you who throws the food, which makes him throw the chopping block that breaks your toes. And you are wrong. Fire doesn't dampen fire. You know that. And you are the adult after all. And like you, your husband is appalled. And if he can hold his temper, why can't you? And the answer is clear. Because your husband not only is there less often, but he is a better person than you are. And they both would be better off without you. So you leave. As if walking away is possible.
That was incredible.
Woo-hoo! Wow.